Okay, paano naman po kung halimbawa, yung multiple assets yung held for sale? Okay, yung classify natin as held for sale. Ang tawag natin sa kanila ay disposal group. Kasi sa example po natin previously, puro mga individual asset to, di ba? Isang asset lang na equipment, yung classify as held for sale. O pag ganyan, madali lang, di ba? Eh what if marami? May kasama pang liabilities. Tapos ibebenta na lahat yon. Ang tawag natin sa kanila, disposal group. Okay? Ngayon, ang rule po natin dito, same pa din naman yung measurement po natin. Okay? Ang susundan mo, ganito pa din. Okay po. Lower within the carrying amount. Okay? And fair value less cost to sell. Okay? Pero ang kino-compare po natin dito, okay, is the carrying amount based on their updated. Okay? So, ang rule po natin is first, we need to get the carrying amount on the date of reclassification. Okay, based on the individual standard. Okay po. Halimbawa, maraming multiple yan, di ba? Multiple assets, may kasamang inventories. Okay po, bigyan tayong example, no? Example, yung disposal group natin, may kasamang inventories. May kasama pang, so inventories. May kasamang financial asset. Okay, held at FBPL. Yan. Meron pang mga PPE. Okay? Meron ding investment property. Yan. Okay po. O, di ba? Kapag inventories, ang subsequent measurement po natin dito ay LCNRV. Tama? Lower of cost and net realizable value. Pag FBPL, profit or loss lang tayo dito. Or yung fair value niya. At fair value at year end. Kasi mark to market ang ginagawa po natin kapag fair value measurement. Pag PPE, pwedeng cost model. Investment property, pwedeng cost model or fair value model. Okay? So, yun, yung mga standards na yun yung gagamitin mo to update the carrying amount. Okay po. And next, pag nakuha na natin yung updated carrying amount, kukunin mo na ngayon yung fair value less cost to sell of the disposal group. Okay? Yan. Okay po. Anong ginagawa natin? Kinukuha natin yung total carrying amount based on the data for classification base doon sa kanilang individual standard. Okay? Na nag-govern sa kanila. Okay po. O syempre, disposal group kasi na yan composed of assets and liabilities. Okay? O, so, ang gagawin mo lang, i-update mo lang yung carrying amount. Okay? So, pag kinompare mo na si disposal, yung fair value less cost to sell, o syempre, kapag mas maliit or mas malaki yung carrying amount sa fair value less cost to sell, ano meron tayo? Impairment loss. Okay? So, si impairment loss, ang gagawin po natin ay hindi po natin siya ni-recognize ng buo, tapos hindi siya yung approach natin dito, no? Kasi dito madali lang. Isang asset lang, yung impairment loss natin, china-charge na natin kaagad ng buo doon sa asset. Dito hindi. Yung impairment loss, meron po tayong rule na sinusundan kung sino yung mag-a-absorb. Okay po. Dahil multiple asset po yan, sino ba yung mag-a-absorb? Meron po tayong priority. Una, ang first priority po natin, if may goodwill doon sa disposal group, siya yung mag-a-absorb. Okay, sa kanya. So, 100% ng goodwill, okay po, kailangan ma-exhaust muna. Ulitin ko. Pag mayroong impairment loss, ang mag-a-absorb lahat nun ay si goodwill. Hanggang sa ma-exhaust po siya. Okay? Now, in case na meron pang natira doon sa impairment loss, okay po, the remaining will be absorbed by those assets, okay, within the scope of IFRS 5. Okay? Anong method ang gagamitin natin? Using pro rata. Okay? So, ganyan po siya. So, anong gagawin po natin? Dito kasi sa example natin kanina, 100% inabsorb ng asset. Tama? Bakit? Pansinin mo, yung impairment loss, yung 20,000 na yun, ibinawas mo kagad doon sa equipment held for sale. Okay po? Ng buo. Pero dito, ang mag-a-absorb, depende. Una, si goodwill. Okay po? Pag na-exhaust na siya, 100%, zero na yung goodwill natin. Yung remaining, kapag mayroon pang natira doon sa impairment loss, ipo-prorate po natin yon. Saan? Doon sa mga assets within the scope of IFRS 5. Meaning to say, in a disposal group, may mga components dyan na hindi pasok doon sa scope ng IFRS 5. Ito yung mga example natin, di ba? We have inventories, financial asset at fair value through profit or loss, PP, investment property. Ano lang yung pasok dito? Ito lang. Okay po. So in short, ang mag-a-absorb ng remaining, silang dalawa. Etong dalawa na to, okay po, hindi po sila kasama sa pag-absorb ng impairment loss. Maliwanag. Ngayon yung ating pong allocation, ang gagamitin nating method, pro rata. Okay po? Gamit yung updated carrying amount of the assets. Okay? So, ganyan po yung rule po natin. Ang ganyan gagawin mo sa kapag disposal group, yun pong atin pong problem. O para mas maintindihan po natin, let's have illustrative example number 3. Sabi dito, on December 31, 2025, Mr. Yema Company plans to dispose of its group of assets. Okay, so ibig sabihin, hindi lang po ito individual asset, no, yung kanyang i-dispose. Ang tawag sa kanila, disposal group. Information on this asset is shown below. Okay po, so mayroon tayong inventory, investment in equity securities, FBOCI, investment property, PP, and goodwill. So ito yung composition ng disposal group. Okay po. So, meron tayong carrying amount on December 31, 2025 before classification as held for sale. Okay? So, ito muna. December 31 yan, before pa i-classify. And then, sabi niya dito, fair value as measured immediately before. Pansinin mo, laging before yan, no? Before. Okay po. Pero yung pinagkaiba nila, ito, carrying amount yung binanggit, ito naman fair value. Ano bang gagamitin natin? Depende po sa rule ng accounting standard. Okay? So, sabi dito, after each of the individual asset has been measured, yan, accordance with the PFRS applicable to each individual. Yan yung binabanggit ko po dito. Kailangan nating i-update yung carrying amount based on their individual standard. Okay? So, dito, in-update daw siya. Okay? Individual asset. Ano yung in-update? Ito yun. In-update siya, ito. Okay po. Kasi ni-remeasure po natin siya based on the fair value. So, in short, nung in-update natin yung mga carrying amount ng mga assets, eto na sila. Okay? So, ang gagawin mo, ibig sabihin, ang updated carrying amount na gagamitin natin is si 14,900. Tama? Okay na tayo dito. Na-update na natin. Actually, medyo mabait pa yung problem kasi binigay na niya sa'yo mismo. Okay? Kung papansinin mo, yung inventory, 2.4 siya dati, naging 2.2. Okay po. O syempre, ginamitan niya ng LCNRV. Okay po. Siguro, mas mababa na yung net realizable value. 2,200 na lang. 2,200,000. So, yun yung ginamit. Okay po. And then, for investment in equity securities, 1.5. Okay po. Investment property, 5.7. Hindi nagbago. PPE, naging 4 million from 4.6. Syempre, siguro, nag-depreciate pa siya. Okay po. Goodwill, hindi nagbago. Okay. So, yan po yung atin pong updated carrying. So, yun yung gagamitin po natin. Okay? After ma-update yung carrying amount ng mga disposal group. Okay po. So, 14.9 million. Ito yung updated carrying amount. Sana siya i-compare sa fair value less cost to sell ng disposal group. Magkano ba? Dito, Mr. Yema, estimates the fair value less cost to sell of the disposal group amounts to 13 million. So, ano bang mas mababa? And binanggit pa niya, the inventory is measured LCNRV and the FBOCI at fair value. Di ba? O, ito yung fair value niya. So, malamang, yun yung gagamitin po natin. Okay? So, by the way, yung NRV kasi na term, is similar po yan sa fair value. Kaya kung susundan po natin yung accounting standard, for inventory, ito yung amount na gagamitin mo, ipepresent natin. For investment in equity securities, ito din. For investment property, hindi naman nagbago, so okay lang. PP, ito din, okay, 4 million, goodwill. And then, okay po. So, ganyan po siya. Next, okay. So, kunin natin yung difference. Magkano yung impairment loss? 14.9 minus 13 million. So, meron tayong impairment loss total na 1.9 million. And then, ano sabi natin kanina? Ang guiding rule natin. If the impairment loss, if merong impairment loss, okay po, ang mag-absorb, number 1, si goodwill. 100% dapat may exhaust muna. Okay po. So, ang gagawin mo, yung 1.9 million na yan, meron ba tayong goodwill? Yes, meron. Okay po. Yung goodwill natin is amounting to 1.5 million lang. Tama? So, therefore, meron pang remaining. Ilan yung remaining? 1.9 minus 1.5 million. So, meron tayong remaining na 400,000. Okay po. Total na 400,000. And yung 400,000 na yan ay i-allocate po natin to doon sa mga assets within the scope of IFRS 5. So, ano ba yung mga kasama sa disposal group na pasok doon sa IFRS 5 items? O, tignan natin. Inventory, kasama ba? Makikita mo yon dito. Diniscuss po natin sa pinakauna. Ito, within the scope of IFRS 5. O, diba? 4. O, tignan po natin. Inventory, kasama? Hindi. Investment in equity securities, kasama? Hindi din. Investment property? Yes. Okay po. PBE? Yes. Goodwill, wala na. Kasi in-exhaust na natin. Tama? O, so yung dalawa lang. Investment property and PPE. So, sila lang yung mag-a-absorb ng remaining na impairment loss. Paano po yun, sir? Ganito. Yung investment property, okay po, magkano yung updated carrying amount niya? 5.7M. Okay po. For PPE naman is 4 million. So, yung total natin, carrying amount, 5.7 plus 4 million. So, 9.7 million. Tapos, ito yung gagamitin natin na allocation ratio. Paano yun, sir? Ang ratio natin, allocation ratio natin would be 5.7 over 9.7. And ito naman, 4 over 9.7. O, yan yung percentage. Tapos, allocate natin yung 400,000 na remaining impairment loss. Ang gagawin mo, 400,000, multiply mo siya sa ratio na to. 400,000, multiply mo siya sa ratio na to. Try natin. 400,000 times 5.7 divided by 9.7. So, magkano yun? O, hindi siya pantay, di ba? 235,052. Okay? So, round off na lang natin. 235,000 052. And then, minus na lang natin siya doon sa 400,000 para mas mabilis. So, ang natitira, 164,948. O, so, ito na ngayon yung impairment loss na inallocate natin to investment property and PBE. Kaya ang journal entry po natin dito, okay po, papakita ko sa iyo yung individual journal entry, okay, upon updating, okay, or upon absorbing yung goodwill to specific assets, and then yung reclassification. Tapos, ipapakita ko sa iyo yung mas madali, which is yung compound journal entry. Doon muna tayo doon sa specific items. So, ang gagawin natin, allocate muna natin yung impairment loss, okay po, doon sa individual assets. Ang gagawin mo, debit tayo ng impairment loss, okay po, magkano? 1.9 million. Tapos, credit tayo ng goodwill. Magkano? 1.5 million. Tapos credit tayo ng investment property. Magkano? 235052. And credit tayo ng PPE 164948. Yan yung entry natin. Okay po. To update the carrying amount, okay, due to the absorption of the impairment loss. Okay po. Then after nyan, pwede natin i-reclassify yung mga assets or yung disposal group as held for sale. So ang gagawin mo, okay po, so debit ka lang ng assets held for sale. Magkano? O, di ba sabi natin kasi lower. Tama? Lower between the carrying amount and fair value less cost to sell, or ganito. Ang gagawin mo, 'di ba ito yung atin pong distribution ng impairment loss. Magkano na lang natitira sa investment property after natin ma-distribute yung impairment loss. So 4 million, ito syempre mawawala na yan, minus 1.5 million. Burahin ko lang to, no. So upon distribution of the impairment loss, ganito yung ibig sabihin po niyan. Okay, or yung magiging balanse. Ito, minus 1.5 million. Kaya yung balance natin, ito, 0 na to. Yung inventory natin, 2.2 million pa din. Okay po. Yung investment in equity securities natin is 1.5 million pa din po yan. Yung investment property, magbabago na. Okay po. Yung 5.7, babawasan natin siya ng 235,052. Si PPE, babawasan din natin siya ng 164,948. So, let's compute yung balance po nila. For investment property, that is 5.7 minus 235,052. So, that is 546,4,948. Then, for PPE naman, 4 million minus 164,948. So that is 3,835,052. For goodwill, 0 na po siya. Okay? Total natin lahat. 2,200,000 plus 1,500 plus 546,4948 plus 3,835,052 plus 0. So dapat 13 million to, which is now updated kasi 13 million yung fair value less cost to sell ng disposal group. O diba? Sakto na siya. Okay po. So ang asset held for sale natin, eto na yung updated. 13 million. Okay po. And then pwede na natin i-credit lahat ng mga assets na na-classify as held for sale. So credit tayo ng inventory, magkano siya? 2.2. Credit tayo ng investment in equity securities, FBOCI, magkano? 1.5 million. Credit natin yung investment property, magkano? 546,4,948. And last is PPE, magkano? 3,835,052. So after this journal entry, okay po, na-reclassify na natin yung mga assets, yung disposal group into single asset held for sale. Okay po, so yan yung single entry po natin from updating the carrying amount, okay, due to the distribution of the impairment loss. Okay po, kasi nirecognize muna natin siya. And then next is yung reclassification. Pero ipapakita ko sa iyo yung single entry. Okay po, na mas maganda at I think mas malinaw. Gagawin mo lang to, itong problem na to, if ang tinatanong sa iyo ay ganito. Okay po, makinig ka ha. Okay po. Gagawin mo lang tong procedure na to if ang tinatanong sa iyo is kung magkano yung i-absorb ng mga individual asset. Like for example, the question here is ito. Inilagay yan. Kapag ito lang kasi ang requirement, yan. Compute for the impairment loss. Pag impairment loss ang tanong, edi 1.9 ka agad. Yun na yun. Ang gagawin mo lang, ko-compare mo lang ito, yung 14.9, assets dun sa fair value less cost to sell. So what? 1.9 ang isasagot mo. Okay po. Pero pag ang tanong sa'yo, how much of the impairment loss will be absorbed, okay, by the goodwill? Ang sagot mo, 1.5. And how much, okay, from the impairment loss will be absorbed by the investment property? Ang isasagot mo, ito. How much of the impairment loss will be absorbed by the PPE? Ito yung isasagot mo. Pag ganun yung nature ng tanong, okay, or yung question ng problem, gagawin mo yon. Pero kung ang tinatanong sa'yo ay how much to be presented in the financial statement as asset held for sale, ang isasagot mo, 13 million. No-brainer na yun. Okay po. Bakit? Kasi, sabi ko nga sa'yo kanina, ang guide mo, lower between the carrying amount and fair value less cost to sell. Eh dito, kung titignan mo, mas lower si fair value less cost to sell, so sasagot mo, 13 million. No need to compute for the allocation of the impairment loss. Why? I'll show you yung compounded journal entry. Okay? Compound JE natin, na kahit hindi na natin gawin itong entry na to, same lang yung lalabas. Okay po, paano yun sir? Ganito po. Debit ka, asset held for sale, magkano? Sabi ko sa'yo, whichever is lower. Sa case natin, wala po tayong liability. Okay, ma'am. So, discuss na din natin yung presentation para mas maintindihan mo ha. Discuss lang natin saglit. Presentation in financial statement, particularly sa balance sheet with regards to held for sale. Okay po. Kapag halimbawa po ang atin pong mga assets or group of assets are already classified as held for sale, they are now presented, okay po, yung mga non-current asset held for sale po na yan, they are presented among current assets. Bakit sir, current assets na po sila? Kasi take note, di ba, meron tayong dito, condition na we can only say that the sale is highly probable if within 1 year. O since within 1 year siya mabibenta, okay po, current asset na siya ngayon. Tama ba? And next, number 2, okay po, yun yung presentation po natin, yung asset portion, assets and liabilities, okay po, held for sale of the disposal group, will be recognized separately or presented po sila separately sa balance sheet po natin. Okay, ibig sabihin, meron po tayong account na asset held for sale, tapos yung liability component ng disposal group will be presented as liability associated to asset held for sale. Yan po yung account. So sa case natin dito, sa case number 2, or illustrative example number 3, walang liabilities. So ang meron lang tayo ay asset held for sale. So needless to say, itong fair value less cost to sell na yan, okay po, yan na yung composition ng asset held for sale natin. Magkakaroon lang ng issue yan if meron pang liability na present. Because this one is netted with any liabilities. Ulitin ko, this one is netted with liabilities. Mamaya, meron tayong illustrative example, papakita ko sa iyo pinagkaiba. Okay po. Kaya yung asset held for sale natin, 13 million na kagad. Tapos, ang gagawin mo, tanggalin na natin lahat ng mga assets. Okay po, using the compound journal entry. Okay po, ganito po siya. Asset held for sale, 13 million. Okay, tanggalin natin yung inventory. Magkano? 2.2 million. Tanggalin natin yung investment in equity securities, FVOCI, 1.5 million. Investment property, magkano? 5.7. PPE, 4 million. And last, goodwill na 1.5 million. O syempre hindi balance yan kasi meron pa tayong impairment loss. Magkano? 1.9 million. O ito yung compound journal entry. Kung papansinin mo, hindi na natin inallocate yung 1.9. Hindi na natin pinakita kung sino yung nag-absorb. Okay po. So, whether ito yung gagamitin mong entry or ito, parehas lang. Ang relevance lang nito, okay po, ang relevance lang nito is yung distribution or allocation of the impairment loss. Ito po, pinakita lang sa'yo, sino ba ang mag-absorb. So, ito yung proper, okay po, pero kung gusto mo ng shortcut, mas mabilis sa pagsasagot, you can use this. Especially if ang tinatanong lang sa'yo, magkano yung asset held for sale ipe-present sa balance sheet at magkano yung impairment loss. Okay? So, nagkakaintindihan po. So, parehas lang po yan. Kung ito-total natin lahat yan, dapat, 14.9, tama? O, ito, pag tinotal mo yan, 14.9. Kasi kinuha lang natin yan to. Tapos ito naman, 14.9 din. Tama? So, sakto na. O, para mas maintindihan pa natin, let's have yung next example po natin. Okay, so, tapos tignan po natin dito. Yung nabanggit po natin dito na asset and liability, they are presented separately sa balance sheet. Okay, Papa Ketchup plans to dispose a group of net assets. Okay, the part of disposal group. Okay, the net assets at December 31, 2020 are, so meron siyang carrying value. Okay, December 31, 2020, goodwill 3 million, PPE 9 million, inventory 5 million, financial asset profit 2 million, horizon equity 3.5, financial liabilities. Okay po. So may liability component na siya. 2 million. Okay po. Total of 18 million. Gagawin mo, add mo to, tapos minus may liability 18.5. The question here is, eto na ba yung gagamitin natin carrying value or carrying amount? Basahin natin. Before the date of reclassification, PPE had a fair value of 8 million. So, kailangan natin i-update. Si PPE, hindi natin pwedeng gamitin si 9 million. Ang gagamitin natin is 8 million. The inventory has an NRV of 4.5 million. So, inventory natin, 4.5 million dapat. And, wala na. O, yun lang. Okay? Goodwill is 3 million pa din. Financial assets, 3.5 million. Then, yung financial liabilities natin, 2 million. Okay po. So, magkano ngayon yung updated carrying value natin? So, 3 million plus 8 million plus 4.5 plus 3.5 minus 2 million. So, meron tayong 17 million. Okay? Na updated carrying value. So, dun sa 17 million na yan na yung i-compare natin saan? Okay po, sa fair value less cost to sell. Yung fair value less cost to sell of the disposal group is 12.5. So, yung updated carrying value natin is 17 million. Tapos, yung fair value less cost to sell ng disposal group ay 12.5 million. So, meron po tayong impairment loss na 4.5 million. And sino yung mag-absorb ng impairment loss? Si goodwill, yung first priority natin. O magkano yung mapupunta kay goodwill? Ang mapupunta sa kanya, o meron po tayong 3 million na goodwill, so siya yung mag-absorb ng 3 million. Okay po. So nawala na yung 3 million, ilan na lang matitira? So ang remaining na lang po natin ay 1.5 million. O so yung 1.5 million na yan, sinong mag-absorb? O yung mga assets within the scope of IFRS 5. So tignan natin, ano ba yung pasok dito? Goodwill, wala na yan, exhausted na yan. Tama? PPE, yes, pasok yan. Inventory, hindi. Financial assets, hindi din. Okay po, current asset po yan. Financial liabilities, hindi din. So meaning to say, iisa lang. O sino ang mag-absorb ng PPE ng 1.5 million? Si PPE na po. Okay? Kaya kung gagawin natin, update natin yung balance nila. Okay po. Yung goodwill, mawawala na yan, zero na yung balance. Kasi siya yung mag-absorb ng buong 3 million. Tama? And then yung remaining, si PPE yung mag-absorb. So 8 million minus 1.5 million, magkano yun? That's 6.5. So 6.5 million na siya. Si inventory, 4.5 million. Si financial asset, 3.5 million. And last, okay po, negative 2 million. Okay po. So, ito, pag tinotal mo yan, magbabalancing ngayon yan doon sa ating fair value less cost to sell. O, try natin. 6.5 plus 4.5 plus 3.5 minus 2 million. So, that is 12.5 million. O, diba tama na? Okay po. But the question is, magkano yung ipepresent natin sa financial statement position as asset classified as held for sale? Is it 12.5 million? The answer is, hindi. Bakit? Gaya ng nabanggit ko sila kanina, the liability is presented separately. So, ibig sabihin po, yung asset held for sale natin, eto lang. Okay? And eto naman, yung 2 million na yan, presented siya separately. Kaya, ang asset held for sale lang natin is 14.5 million. Paano nakuha yun, sir? Ito, add mo yung mga yan. 6.5 plus 4.5 plus 3.5, that's 14.5 million. Okay? So, papakita ko na lang yung compounded journal entry. Ganito po siya. Debit ka ng journal entry natin. Asset held for sale. Magkano? 14.5 million. Tapos, credit tayo ng debit po tayo ng impairment loss. Magkano sa impairment loss? 4.5 million. Tapos, credit po tayo ng goodwill. Magkano yun? 3 million. PPE. 8 million. Inventory. 4.5 million. And financial asset. 3.5 million. And then, yan lang. Tapos, para i-present natin yung financial liabilities, meron po tayo dito, entry ulit. Debit tayo ng financial liabilities para mawala siya. Tama? Kasi, credit to. Ibig sabihin niyan, naka-negative siya, naka-negative sign siya, credit. 2 million. Okay po. Then, credit tayo ng liability associated. Okay po. To asset held for sale. 2 million. Total natin to, kung magkano? 3 million plus 8 million plus 4.5 plus 3.5. So, dapat equal yan dito. O, 19 million. O, so, sakto po siya. Balance po yung ating entry. Kaya kapag tinanong sa'yo, what amount to be presented in the statement of financial position as asset held for sale? Ito yung shortcut. Okay po? Ang shortcut mo, ito. Whichever is lower. And then, ang gagawin mo, any liability, okay po, should be removed. So, sa case natin, kung lower sa 12.5, ang gagawin mo, dahil may liability dito, add mo yung 2 million. Okay po. So, magkano to? 14.5 million. O, ito na yung sugot mo. Kahit hindi mo na gawin to, yung mahaba na proseso na yan, even this one, makukuha mo pa din yung 14.5. Ganun din dito. Pag tinanong sa'yo, how much is the asset held for sale? O, sabi ko sa'yo kanina, whichever is lower. Sinong lower? Ito, 13.5. Meron bang liability? Wala. O, so, wala tayong inad. O, kaya 13 million. O, pansinin mo, asset held for sale natin, 13 million. Dito. Diba sa problem na to? Tinanong, asset held for sale. O, lower between the carrying amount fair value less cost to sell. O, ito yung mas mababa. 12.5. Tama? Tapos may liability, yes. O, add back natin. Plus 2 million, so 14.5. Kaya, pansinin mo yung dinebit natin dito. 14.5 million. Okay, yun po yung shortcut pag tinatanong si asset held for sale. Sir, kailan mo gagamitin ulit ito? Kapag tinatanong sa'yo, magkano yung i-allocate na impairment loss doon sa individual asset. So, like for example, how much is the impairment loss absorbed by the goodwill? O, sagot mo 3 million. How much is the impairment loss to be absorbed by the PPE? Ang sasagot mo 1.5 million. Okay? So, ganyan po yung proseso. okay, on how to allocate the impairment loss, especially to a disposal group. Okay po. Now, for our last topic, okay po, changes in the plan, okay po, of sale. Meaning to say, ito na yung nagkaroon ng cease, okay po, or ceases as held for sale. So in short, ang ginawa natin, di ba? Yung from non-current asset po siya. Tapos plan na ibenta, naging held for sale. Tapos hindi na benta, kaya ang gagawin, gagamitin na lang ulit. So babalik na siya ulit sa non-current asset. Para ganon. Okay po. So nagkaroon ng change ng plan. Okay? So ano yung accounting procedure po natin? Ito yung gagawin mo. Okay po. So meron pa din po tayo dito lower. Pero this time, ito yung i-compare mo. Lower between the carrying amount. Kailan? On the date. Okay? Of change in plan to sell. Okay po. Kanina, yung ginawa natin, yung carrying amount niya on the date of reclassification. Okay po dito, date kung kailan nagkaroon ng change na hindi na daw siya ibebenta. Okay po. So sa example natin dito kanina, halimbawa, doon na lang sa first example natin. After 1 year, hindi pa din nabenta, halimbawa. Okay po. So, then, ang ginawa is, hindi na daw siya ibebenta. December 31, 2025, hindi pa din siya nabenta. So, ang gagawin mo, i-revert back na natin ulit to non-current asset. Okay po. So, ang gagawin po natin dito na procedure, okay, pipiliin mo yung lower between the carrying amount. Okay po. So, yung pag sinabi natin on the date of change in the plan to sale, yung carrying amount na tinutukan natin dito is as if it was not classified as held for sale. So, in short, magkano kaya yung carrying amount kung sakaling hindi siya na-classify as held for sale? So, in short, magkano na lang kaya yung carrying amount niya if tuloy-tuloy yung pag-depreciate natin ng asset? Yun yung tinatanong po dito. So, sa case natin dito, if nagkaroon na ng change in plan of sale, kukunin mo ulit yung magkano dapat yung na-depreciate natin na value. Okay, tas yun yung i-minus natin para makuha yung updated carrying amount. And then, saan natin siya i-compare? I-compare po natin yan doon sa tinatawag po natin na recoverable amount. Recoverable amount. And yung recoverable amount na yan, okay po, ay higher between value in use. Okay po? Higher between value in use or fair value less cost to sell on the date of change of plan. Okay? So yung wag kang mag-alala, yung value in use, ibibigay naman po yung amount sa'yo. Ganun din ba sa fair value less cost to sell? Ganito po yung rule, no? Ang gagawin po natin, upon reclassification ulit, revert back to non-current asset from held for sale. Okay, ang measurement po natin to update the carrying amount is pipiliin natin yung lower between the carrying amount and yung carrying amount na yan as if it was not classified as held for sale. And then, compare natin siya sa recoverable amount. Para makuha natin yung recoverable amount, higher between value in use and fair value less cost to sell. Okay? Para mas maintindihan natin, let's have yung next problem po natin. So, Conaco acquired machinery for 500,000 on January 1, 2020 with a useful life of 10 years. So, take note of that, ha? Estimate the residual value is 50,000. So, ito yung salvage value natin. O, compute na natin yung magkano yung depreciable amount. 500,000 minus 50, that's 450. Okay? O, compute na din natin yung, basahin muna natin yung, date of reclassification to held for sale. On December 31, 2021. So, ibig sabihin, pwede natin gamitin yung year, no? Kasi hindi naman po siya in between. Divide natin to sa 10 para makuha yung annual depreciation. So, magkano to? 450 divided by 10. So, that's 45,000. Okay, yan yung annual depreciation po natin. On December 31, the company classified the machinery as held for sale, and the fair value of the machinery is 375, and the cost to dispose is 25,000. O magkano yung ating fair value less cost to sell during this time? It is 375 minus 25, that's 350. Tama? 350,000. Okay? May impairment loss ba tayong recognize? Para makuha yon, kunin natin yung carrying amount. O magkano ba yung carrying amount? Meron po tayong 450 na cost. Okay? So dito na lang. 450 na cost. And magkano yung accumulated depreciation po natin? O para makuha yon, ilang years na ba yung nakalipas? 2020, 2021, tama, 2 years. 2020 and 2021. So times 2. So magkano to? 45,000 times 2. So that's 90,000. So meron tayong accumulated depreciation before reclassifying to held for sale. May carrying amount tayo na 360,000. Okay? So tama ba? Hindi, sorry. Itong 450 pala, ano yun, depreciable amount. Dapat cost yung gamitin natin. Sorry. 500,000. Okay? Yung cost yung gagamitin natin. So, 500,000 minus 90,000. So, meron po tayong carrying amount na 410. Or kung yun yung ginamit mo kanina, no? Kung ginamit mo si 450, minus ka ng 90,000, dapat add mo ulit yung salvage value. Pwede din yun. Okay po. Pero mas maganda gamitin to para hindi ka malito. Laging at cost to, ha. At cost. Hindi po siya depreciable amount. Okay po. So, wag niyo po sundin yung kanina. Okay? So, at cost, 500,000. And then less accumulated depreciation na 90,000. So, mayroon tayong carrying amount na 410. Okay? So, sino yung mas mababa? Fair value less cost to sell or carrying amount? Siyempre, si fair value less cost to sell. So, siya yung atin pong initial measurement. May impairment loss? Yes. Magkano impairment loss? 410 minus 350,000. So, magkano to? Minus 350. So, meron tayong 60,000 na impairment loss. Ang journal entry natin for question number 1, debit po tayo ng machinery held for sale. Magkano? 350,000, yung lower. Credit tayo ng accumulated depreciation. Magkano? 90,000. And then, credit tayo ng machinery. Magkano? At cost, 500,000. And last, impairment loss, magkano? 60,000. Tara natin add kung sakto yung debits natin. 350 plus 90 plus 60. So, that's 500,000. Okay? So, yun yung entry natin on the date of reclassification to held for sale, 2021. On question number 2, what's the measurement of the machinery that ceases to be classified as held for sale? Kailan ba? Basahin natin yung problem. On December 31, 2022, okay, 1 year na yung nakalipas, the company believed that the criteria for classification as held for sale can no longer be met. O, diba? May condition kasi tayo, diba? Dapat within 1 year mabenta. O, nakalipas na isang taon, yung management, sabi niya, hindi na daw siya mabenta. Okay po? Accordingly, the company decided not to sell. O, so, in short, it ceases to be classified as held for sale. Okay, so anong gagawin na lang daw? I-recover na yung carrying amount to continue use it. During this time, the fair value of the machinery was 400,000 and the cost to sell is 40,000. The value in use determined to be 370. Sa question number 2, ito na yung gagawin mo. Okay po. Yan. Change in plan. Pipiliin natin lower between the carrying amount or recoverable amount. So, ang gagawin mo muna, compute muna natin yung carrying amount. Take note, yung carrying amount na compute natin dito, carrying amount yan on December 31, 2021. Ngayon, binanggit ko sa'yo kanina dito, as if it was not classified as held for sale. So, in short, kailangan mong makuha yung carrying amount niya on December 31, 2022. Okay? So, anong gagawin mo? O, ganito siya. 500,000. Ito yung at cost niya, tama? Then, minus natin yung accumulated depreciation sana. If hindi siya na-classify as held for sale. O magkano na dapat sana? 45,000 times 3. Tama? Kasi, 3 years na yun nakalipas kung sakaling hindi siya na-classify. Kasi 2 years na yun from 2021. O, mag-add ka pa ng isang taon, 3 na. O, so, 45,000 times 3. So, yung accumulated depreciation dapat sana is 135,000 na. Okay po? As of December 31, 2022. Okay po? Kaya yung carrying amount dapat sana natin, okay po, if hindi siya na-classify as held for sale, ay 365,000. So, ito yung carrying amount po natin. Okay? As of December 31, 2022. Kung ayaw mo yan, pwede naman yung gamitin mo yung ito, yung 410, gawin mo lang. Okay po, bawasan mo pa siya ng isang 45,000. Pwede naman yun. So, 410 minus 45,000, so yun yung makuha mo, 365.10. Okay? Ito yung depreciation mo sana ng December 31, 2022. Tama? So, parehas lang. Ito or ito, parehas lang po yung method. Okay? So, nakuha na natin yung carrying amount. Okay po, as if it was not classified as held for sale. Next, ang kailangan natin makuha ay si recoverable amount. Para makuha yon, pipiliin natin yung higher between value in use and fair value less cost to sell. Okay po. Yung value in use natin ito, 370. And yung fair value less cost to sell, ito, 400 minus 40,000. So, magkano to? 360,000. Tama? So, 360,000. Or whichever is higher, so ito yung pipili natin as a recoverable amount. Okay po. So, yung recoverable amount natin, 370,000. Okay? Ayan po yun. Ayan o. Recoverable amount, higher. Between the two. Pero, to remeasure the asset, okay, upon revert back to as non-current asset, anong gagawin natin? Pipiliin natin yung lower naman. Papansin, huwag kayong malilito ha. Higher lang doon sa recoverable amount. Pero doon sa value na ipepresent natin sa financial statement, yung lower amount ng carrying amount sa recoverable amount. Sino ba mas maliit? Carrying amount or si recoverable amount? Kung titignan natin, 365 si carrying amount, 370 naman si recoverable amount. So therefore, ang ipepresent natin as value ng atin pong non-current asset, okay, that ceases to be classified as held for sale would be 365. Kaya ang sagot natin dito sa question number 2, what is the measurement of the machinery that ceases? Sagot natin, 365. Okay? So, ito na yung sagot po natin. Kasi siya yung mas mababa sa recoverable amount. Paano makuha sa recoverable amount? Higher between value in use and fair value less cost to sell. Okay? So, yun po yung sagot po natin. And next, last. Okay, what amount should be recognized in profit or loss as a result of the reclassification? Ano ba yung ating pong ni-recognize sa profit or loss? Pwedeng gain or loss, tama? So, kailan tayo nagkakaroon ng gain? Nagkakaroon po tayo ng gain if yung value, okay po, ng equipment natin upon reclassification ay mas malaki doon sa carrying amount ng held for sale. O magkano na ba yung value ng equipment natin upon reclassification? Ito yon, 365,000. Magkano yung carrying amount ng nung held for sale siya? Ito siya, diba? 350. O mas malaki to? Yes. Okay po. So may difference na 15,000. So yung 15,000 na yan, ang tawag natin sa kanya, gain on reclassification. Okay? Kasi na-reclassify natin ulit yung atin pong asset na from held for sale magiging non-current asset na ulit. Kaya ang entry po natin, para mas maintindihan mo, ganito. Debit ka ng equipment, journal entry. Okay po, equipment. Magkano? O, di ba sabi natin, whichever is lower between the carrying amount and the recoverable amount. Mas mababa to, so yun yung ilalagay natin na value. 365. Then, debit po tayo ng, credit tayo ng equipment held for sale. Ito yun. Okay po. Equipment ba siya? Or machine? Machine pala, sorry. So, machinery. $365. Then, machinery held for sale. 350,000. O, tignan mo, hindi balance. Kasi po yung difference will be charged as gain on reclassification. Na magkano? 15,000. So, ganyan lang po siya, no? Okay po. Yung gagawin mo kapag meron po tayong assets that are classified as held for sale and ceases to be classified as held for sale. So, in summary, gagawa lang po tayong timeline, ano? Okay po. To how it really works, the IFRS 5. Okay po. So, kung ito yung timeline po natin, ang nangyayari ganito. We acquire, upon acquisition ng mga non-current assets. Okay po. Anong example nito? May mga PPE. Okay, investment property. Ano pa? Yung mga intangible asset. Ano pa? Yung mga investment in associates, yung mga yan. Okay po. So, yung mga non-current assets na yan, upon acquisition, syempre, na-recognize natin sila based on their specific accounting standards. Okay po? Or yung mga applicable accounting standards para sa kanila. Okay? And then, kapag nagkaroon na ng decision, okay? Dito na, plan to sell. Dito lang siya nagiging held for sale. Okay po? From non-current asset, magiging held for sale siya. Kailan? Kapag nagkaroon na ng plan to sell. Okay? Instead na i-recover siya through continuing use or through capital appreciation, ibibenta na lang siya. Held for sale na siya. Anong gagawin natin kapag held for sale? Lower between the carrying amount and fair value less cost to sell. Okay? So, ganun po yung gagawin mo kapag halimbawa nagkaroon ng decision. So, dito ka na ngayon mag-start mag-recognize ng asset or non-current asset as held for sale. Tapos, kung hindi pa yan nabenta, okay po. So, ang mangyayari, nagkaroon na ng ceases. Okay? Ceases to classify as held for sale. So, ang mangyayari, i-revert back mo yan as non-current asset. So, napansin mo? From non-current, naging held for sale. Tapos, kapag hindi na siya ibibenta, naging held for sale to non-current. Anong gagawin mo? Ito na yun. Lower between the carrying amount and recoverable amount. So, recoverable amount, para makuha mo yan, yan po yung higher between value in use or fair value less cost to sell. And take note, yung carrying amount na yan at saka yung carrying amount dito, hindi po yan equal. Okay po? Ulitin ko lang. Yung carrying amount na to at yung carrying amount na yan, magkaiba. Kasi yung carrying amount na to, ang tinutukoy po natin dito, carrying amount niya during this period. Yung carrying amount na to, yung tinutukoy natin, carrying amount niya during this period. Nakakuha? So, ganyan po yung gagawin mo, yung accounting procedure po natin whenever you encountered a non-current asset held for sale. Ang medyo unique lang naman dito kapag meron ng disposal group. Okay? Anong unique sa disposal group? Yung pag-absorb or yung distribution natin ng impairment loss. Okay po, meron po tayong specific criteria or rule na sinusundan. Okay? So, yun lamang po for the non-current asset held for sale. At meron pa tayong last topic na di-discuss, which is yung discontinued operation.